Where was I? Oh yeah. So apparently you're telling me that they straight wash Freddie Mercury in the Queen movie.
Yeah, but look, to be honest, I haven't seen it. This is just all hearsay and conjecture from a bunch of punks I was drinking with last night.
I trust the drunk punks, but
I mean, we all trust the word of a drunk punk.
it just confuses me how, like, in this era, they would even, like, try to straight wash the story because they could totally capitalize on, like, a queer narrative or, like, some queer tragedy. And if it is straight wash, it just makes...
No.
It's just it's just, like, so sad because I love Freddie.
But there's too much money in straight Queen fans. And people who like just into Queen as like rock gods and like are still put off by homosexuality. So like it doesn't surprise me in the slightest because like the market is just like, you know, white middle America mums and pops who like,
it's classic
like to jam out to Queen on their way to the college football game.
I guess my cynicism rests in this area where I'm like, just think everything's going to be like, you know, selling out, like using the pink dollar. But I guess the actual truth is that like it's like we're more conservative than ever, and like
yeah, hon, it's just
always going to erase that narrative.
It's just our careers that are selling out for the pink dollar.
I will totally sell out for the pink dollar.
Oh, I'm all about monetizing my trauma.
Yes, that's how we get the grant money.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone. This is Fakest Gamer Girls.
I am Romy.
And I'm Brennan.
And look, elephant in the room, not going to beat around the bush. We're trashed today.
We are very hungover. I work at a rock and roll venue, a music venue, and Romy was a patron of that venue, and then we both got...
just fucked up. This is the second time it's happened. Well, I mean, like, the first time you knocked off your shift and I dragged you to kick-ons.
That was fun. And
that was a good night.
Yeah. Yes. That was fun. And this is like the kind of like sequel to that night. I'm not going to like kiss and tell, but...
Yeah. It was cool though. I mean, I didn't stay out as late though because it was my girlfriend's birthday and I wanted to spend time with her rather than, you know, be raunchy and rowdy with the punks of Melbourne.
When you're like basically single... and the kick-ons for an after-party call, you just go...
Oh, 100%. I used to be like that. Back when I was...
to be like that.
Back when I was your age, when you were my age.
I'm literally older and, like, more drunk than you. It's fine.
So we've got, like... I feel like I've got a lot of stuff to cover over this episode.
You do. There's also maybe a bit of bumping in the background because it's very windy in Australia. Right
now. Melbourne's going through what's known as the windy period.
It's the windy city.
It's the wind season.
It's the wind season. It is hot and windy and humid.
But it's a dry heat. It's a hot wind. It's not a cool wind because we don't live... Melbourne's not... We're not near the water.
No, it's very dry.
Like, you may have an idea of... Actually, no, I think maybe the idea of Australia is that it's very dry and deserty. No. Though we don't live in the desert either. We live in Melbourne. It's just...
It's southern and it's cold most of the time, and then when it gets hot, it gets, like, really hot. It's probably more like New York, like...
Yeah, well, imagine, like, a city that's just got a fashionable mullet and a local punk T-shirt tucked into their skinny, tight black jeans.
That is us.
That is us.
And a podcast.
And a podcast.
In our pocket.
So, for this episode, where we touched off from last week...
Yes.
It's been about a week and a half now as an official Nintendo Switch user.
I am so down to hear...
I must say...
your impression.
I am really happy I made this decision. Like, I know I've disqualified myself from a particular slew of AAA games.
I was gonna... Yeah, you have. And does it feel like a bit toy to go to, like, a product that is, like, literally, like, looks like a tablet or something from all those, like, AAA games, like the real PC kind of...
Oh, well, because I have a PC as well, I can always get some of those AAA games when they're released on PC. True. Like, for example, like when I was getting the Switch, it was like the weekend that Red Dead Redemption 2 was in full swing. I mean, it's still in full swing.
It's like popping off, yeah.
But there was like a lot of talk about, oh, you're not going to get this. And I was like, yeah, they may have like a PC port at some point in time. And I know like there's like the supposed toy aspect of like going to this small handheld tablet with a lot of like very family friendly games.
Well, even just going handheld, right? Drops the resolution to like 320p or something.
I mean, like, no, it drops it to 720.
I think that's what I said, unless I didn't say
You said 320 again. You've got hard style on the brain.
I said 320 again. I've got hard style on the brain.
But the thing is, like, I actually love... Like, I think I've been gaming a lot more just because I can do it in bed at night before going to sleep.
It's so good, right?
And, like, I legit feel like a fucking witch. For example, playing Zelda Breath of the Wild in bed. And that game is so gorgeous.
It looks...
And I know we're, like, talking about a game that's been out for, like, more than a year, so it's, like, not necessarily new gaming news, but I've only just got it, so it's, like... I'm entitled to my time to talk about Breath of the Wild.
I literally have had it since my last birthday in 2017, and my birthday is Friday, and I still haven't beat it because every time I pick it up, I just run around the world. Literally, like, I swear to God, like, every time I pick it up, and I'll get a new Korok seed, I'll find a new shrine, I'll, like, run into a weird NPC that, like, either attacks me or, like, talks to me, or I'll save them. Like, I've literally pick it up and I discover something. And it's not the fullest thing I've ever played. Like, the enemies repeat themselves, and there's a lot of repetition in that. And the Korok seed thing is, like, quite repetitive. But it's, like, just solidly, like kind of invited me in and introduced all these new things. So, like, I only just went to Ganon's castle.
That's right.
Yesterday.
You told me that you finally got the stones to go see Ganon.
I just was like kind of like, I was trying to find a shrine somewhere in the kind of jungle area, and I found it, and I was like, you know what? I've got so many like fucking hardy truffles. I can like turn into a meal that will like recover my health. I've got all the weapons. When you're in Ganon's castle, your master sword is like turns from 30 to 60. I don't know if you have the master sword yet.
Oh, hon, I've barely touched the story. I'm a lingerer in an open world game.
I lingered so long before I went to the Lost Woods and got the sword. Like, you have so much fun to do. I'm really jealous.
I only just came across that old woman in the where everyone's like, "Oh, you've got the slate," and you go to that temple.
Yes.
Where you can first buy clothes for Link, and there's that scared granddaughter.
I've also bought all the clothes as well. Like, I've just like. Because you kind of mine for like so many like ores and things like the rocks, and I have like I realized I have like so many opals and topaz, like 100 of everything, and I was like, and horns
just
from
sell them
enemies. Because I was always kind of waiting for like, what is the purpose of this item?
Yeah.
Some of them can enhance some clothing. You can get like headpieces that like protect you from like weather, but it's like once you get to a certain point, it's all just completely pointless. You have like enough garments to like cover that, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna sell everything.
Yeah, no, totally. That's a really bad thing for me in any open world RPG. Yeah. I'm terrible at selling stuff that I don't need under the pretense that I might need it later, and then I just have a bunch of shit that
and
I'm
you would just beat the game and
around.
Be like, oh, I have all these like items, and like,
I mean, Fallout 4 is the first game where I actually started selling everything I didn't need. And then, because you keep having to buy ammunition. Right. So I'd loot everything and then just sell it all for ammunition. So I was like, I need this to progress. But in like a game where you don't really buy that much ammunition, it's hard you don't need to constantly buy stuff because you find food, you find weapons.
It's like part of the quality of the game is like kind of being like a trader and forager for things. And I just kind of don't, I think like everything has like this like purpose, but really.
But yeah, I spent so long trying to get all the seeds in the starting area because I didn't want to have to go back later. Granted, I think I've got I found maybe 8 or 10 of the seeds in the starting zone, and there's like maybe 18.
You just will find them all the time. You just come across a rock and you're like, I feel like I should pick it up.
Oh, you can tell when it's like it's going to be one. But because when I found out that you use it to increase your inventory size, I was like, that's useful.
And I didn't know that because I've been very good and I haven't looked up any walkthroughs. I have looked up a few shrine things.
Just to get the chests.
That was like months later though. Once I got to a point where I was like, all these like shrines which are like yellow on the map and I couldn't finish, I was like, gotta do that. Gotta enhance my stamina, because like the most annoying thing about that game is like two things for me, which are like really, everyone agrees, I'm sure. Weapons break fucking too easily.
Oh,
like,
that is
and your stamina. It's like you run for 2 seconds and then you run out of energy. You're climbing up a wall. It's like the wall shit. I kind of get because it's like there's some advantage to working hard to get your stamina up, so you can like go to a new like field or a new like kind of place. Like I kind of get that, but with the running, it's just.
It's a lot. I mean, like I've only put like, I want to estimate I maybe put like 5 or 6 hours in so far. And immediately those are the two issues I've faced where like, especially starting, you occasionally come across good weapons. Yeah. And then I find that those good weapons immediately break. And I'm like, I haven't even been able to use this against what I would consider a powerful enemy. Like I feel like your weapon breaks after fighting a few enemies. Like, like those little fucking weird gremlin creatures.
Bokolins.
Yeah, like just clearing out one of their camps, whatever weapons you're using are useless.
It's absolutely like useless. Like eventually you can get weapons. You find weapons that have enhanced durability.
Yeah.
And like some have enhanced durability, some have like more power if you throw them.
That's right, yeah, because you get like double damage if you throw a weapon.
Yeah, and that's a fun feature, but they just like completely break. So you end up like saving them.
For what end though? And then because like that's why I've been collecting the seeds, because I was like, these weapons break so easily. I need inventory slots so I can hoard good weapons for actual tough bosses.
Yeah, but are the bosses that tough?
Look, the only proper boss I've fought is like that stone guy in the starting area that you find.
Sure. I mean, the way you started could be totally different to the way I started.
True. And like some of like the guardians and the shrines that you have to fight, they can be a little hard.
I kind of keep those weapons they give you though.
Oh yeah, I haven't used any of the guardian weapons yet.
Because like it took me a while to realize that the way to beat those kind of mech guardian, what are they called? The ones that walk around and kind of tendrils and shoot lasers and kill you straight away.
Yeah, the steampunks.
The steampunks are weak against
steampunk weapons.
Oh,
because I got like really scared when you first come across one of the shooty guys in the wild, and it just a one-shot you.
I love it though. I love that you start the game. Literally, the way I went is I went in some trajectory and straight for a steampunk guy. And it killed me straight away, and I was like, "This is so cool!" Like, I love that it's like it's got actually like dangerous and like impossible.
It's got like a Dark Souls element to it, which I enjoy, and which is just like it's difficult. Like enemies are difficult.
You want it to be difficult.
Yeah, but I'm such an idiot who I've been leveling. I leveled up hearts without thinking, and not leveled up stamina.
I went straight for stamina because I already played it for like, and I was like a minute, and I was like, I hate how I can't run. And I have like 3. I think now like 3 extra reels of stamina.
And my next ones are all stamina. I would rather max out stamina than hearts because you can't max out both.
And you can kind of make meals that will temporarily enhance your hearts as well.
That's right, yeah.
There are ways around it, and you can dodge and shield. Like, yeah, but it doesn't matter because even at my level, it's still like very like insignificant because you can't really run and climb. Eventually you'll get it. Oh, I can't give you a spoiler.
No, don't spoil it.
I'm not going to give you a spoiler actually.
But I'm loving this game. I'm really looking forward to it. I fly out to Sydney on Thursday.
What are you doing in Sydney?
Taking care of my friend who just got surgery.
Amazing.
And then I'm really excited to just bring my Switch though for the flight.
Yeah.
And then like the idea that like if I time it right, I can play quite a bit of Zelda on that flight. And that to me is just amazing.
It's so good.
I think that's what's really sold me on the Switch is I can play these AAA Nintendo titles portably on stuff like a plane. or a bus or a train or any of that stuff. And I'm like, this is what I want. Like, for having a PC, I very rarely would sit down in front of the TV to play PlayStation because I'd be like, well, what's the point? And also, like, the games are better optimized on computer anyway, if we're to be, like, totally honest.
Yeah.
The funny thing, though, that, okay, so, like, I've had this Switch for a week and a half, and the games, like, the Nintendo games I've been playing is Mario Kart, Zelda, and you let me Mario Odyssey for a bit.
I did, but now I'm going to sell it.
Exactly. Which is, it's a great game, but I know I won't finish it in time, and you should definitely get a new game, because those games retail so well.
Yeah.
But the game I've played the most on Nintendo Switch is Stardew Valley, a game that I've already beat on computer. Like, I've already played it a ton, but like I've put like 20 hours on it on Switch.
47 on the Switch. I think last time I checked, and probably the PC is even more because I didn't know what I was doing.
But it's just like, it's made for it. I just feel like the indie games that you can get on Switch is like its secret weapon, because they just go so well with that portable format. And to play Stardew Valley in a portable context, it just changed the entire game for me, because it's like, it's such a great game to play just before bed.
It's so good.
Because it's not super stressful. It's kind of like...
And you can do a day, like
methodical.
The cycle is so like easy to fit in, and like it kind of rounds itself off. So you're like, okay, I went to sleep, I should go to bed too.
Yeah, it just works so well. And it's just like, it's a game that I still come back and I just love. I just get so much joy out of that game. It's like, it's like one of those rare super 10 out of 10 games. Like, I don't think I have any real critiques of it, like anything I'd change if I wanted to. Outside of like maybe new NPCs to romance.
Yeah, I don't think I'd change anything. Maybe the storage system I find tedious, but it's kind of part of it too if you bit OCD.
I used to hate fishing, and now
I hated fishing until I got Switch, because I didn't get how it worked on my computer, and I have a Mac. I don't have like...
You don't have the mouse, like the
mouse
click.
PC thing. I don't even think about having that. Like, it doesn't cross my mind until I started playing like Half-Life 2 for the first time, and I started using the Magic Mouse, but still...
True.
But then on Switch, it's like a controller. I mean, I know that it came out on Xbox and PlayStation like a year before or something. But
but fuck that.
Didn't PlayStation have a portable thing, the Vita?
They had the Vita and they had the PSP before that.
But it didn't have a long battery life.
Neither of them, from memory, they never really cracked the market as much as Nintendo's handhelds did. Apparently, it was due to like a poor library. Like, they just didn't really have the quality of games that your Nintendo 3DSs, DSs.
And they also didn't make the entire console like concept, like dual, like portable TV.
But like, that's the great thing about the Switch though, because I've played a little bit of it on the TV as well. But I primarily play it handheld.
I will play it on the TV most of the time, because like I like taking advantage of that.
Oh, definitely.
And like the TV's planted, as Rumi can see, like in front of my bed, so I can just like literally like sit there.
I mean, a few years back when I was living in Sydney, like my old like apartment bedroom, I literally had a TV next to my bed and like the PlayStation there, and I could just like, like getting home from work and just like jump into bed and just like lean over and like turn it on and be like, okay, we're going. And that's like how like I was able to like beat Grand Theft Auto 5 in like a few weeks.
Well, I've never had a TV before because I'm, left home, and there was some kind of symbol of like this like suburban repression that I was trying to like escape.
Oh no, totally. I remember I got my TV for free.
Oh, I got my TV. I didn't pay for it. My TV's terrible. Like, it actually doesn't fit the aspect ratio of the Switch.
Oh, really?
Like, it cuts off like a few, like a centimeter or two, like of the, like the actual like ratio that the specs is supposed to sit in, and I can't change it. The TV's from Aldi. Like,
my TV's from Aldi too.
Oh my god!
It's wait, mine's an LG from Aldi.
I don't know what mine is. Like some terrible thing. It was in my mum's garage. Like, she wanted to get rid of it.
So was mine. Apparently, mine I got from my dad. That was just like, it was like an old TV that they just had sitting around.
Of course we did. Like, we're not going to go out and buy a TV. Like, that's...
I mean, we just got a fucking console.
Yeah. My mum, her partner, and my brother all chipped in to buy me a Switch for my birthday last year.
That is the sweetest fucking thing.
No, they're very sweet. Yes. Are you gonna get the new Pokemon? Maybe not.
No,
you're not.
I mean, okay. Real talk. From what I've seen, because I've been like, I am now a video game podcaster, so I got to keep my ear to the ground. Even though we don't really do news. But I would like to talk a bit about Pokemon Detective at some point. I mean, Pikachu Detective. Detective Pikachu, who gives a fuck? Yeah.
Well,
sorry, my voice just went real, like, gravel.
Let it do its thing.
Kind of like how, like, those, like, right-wing shock jocks talking, like, the real, like, fucking 20 packs of cigarette a day voice.
Yes, way too much yelling.
But yeah, okay, so I've seen, like, a lot of, like, gameplay for Pokemon Let's Go. And look, I love the Pokemon series so deeply, but I feel like I'm such a purist that when it comes to mechanics such as catching Pokemon, like I played a bit of Pokemon Go, but to be honest, it was so nostalgia, I didn't enjoy it that much as a game. And I just find it, the Switch games are expensive, and I feel like just the catching mechanism has just got me a bit... And I saw some of the battle animations, and I was a bit like, they're not as good as some of the ones I've seen on recent 3DS games, like Pokemon Moon and Sun. But I guess I'm just being a stickler, and I'm a bit like, well, you've got this new hardware. I wanted to see what they'd do with it.
I think it's like a pretty decent criticism.
But at the same time, if you love Pokemon, I think it's a solid choice. My thing is, I know you're going to get it, so I just wanted to see you play it a little bit and maybe have a go.
Well, the midnight
IRL.
launch is literally my birthday.
Oh, you gotta.
And I'm going to go out on Thursday, so when midnight strikes, that's the launch and it's my birthday. I probably won't make all my drunk friends go to EB Games.
If only I wasn't in Sydney, I'd totally come with you for the midnight launch.
I know.
You should just bring a Zoom recorder and do like a little reporter on the ground.
It's just in.
This is Brennan reporting live from the Pokemon Let's Go midnight launch live.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I think the next game that I actually want to go and pre-order it because it's quite cheap for pre-order right now is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
Like
every day is just a day.
Have you seen the pre-order prices at JB Hi-Fi?
What are they?
$69.
That's my favorite number.
For international listeners, and there are some of you.
Well, we know now because we posted on Reddit to share the podcast, and we got responses from people.
We got cute responses from the trans gamers subreddit, and we didn't get the same love from gamers and girl gamers, but to be honest, it's because I didn't understand the rules of girl gamers, and I didn't realize that you weren't allowed to do self-promotion. So I really put my own head on the chopping block for that, but oh well.
We did our best. We weren't trying to plug anything for promotional reasons. We just actually wanted to share it to talk to people.
It's like this is like a labor of love. But yeah, okay. Sorry, I completely forgot my point, which I just remembered now.
I don't even know what you were talking about.
I was talking about because in the States, video games retail for $60, but here in Australia, our I guess the wages here are higher, and thus the cost of living is more expensive.
Yes.
So our video games generally retail around $89. It's kind of the baseline
for a big title.
For a big title,
you have to pay like $90.
So $69 then for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as a pre-order price. I think that's amazing.
Did you pre-order?
Not yet. I was just putting an invoice for the show I did at Hexfest, and once that's cleared, it's going straight to that.
So good.
Because I don't know, I just spent a lot of money recently getting a chest tattoo tomorrow and flying to Sydney and then
getting
Canberra.
A chest tat?
Yes.
What are you getting?
I'll show you a picture of it's by this artist from New York called Carson, who does these really interesting vortexy kind of architectural designs. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be huge. It's just going to be like kind of small, like I don't know how, like this doesn't work unless you can see what I'm doing here.
She's kind of like rubbing like the chest, like in between her tits, like with her fingers, very like softly. Also, Romy's kind of covered in tattoos.
It's true, but like the tattoo's probably going to be like maybe like 7 centimeters by like 5 centimeters.
That's cool.
Like in regards to that's going to be the dimensions. So it's not going to be like huge. It's not my whole chest. But yeah, I have like 30 or something tattoos because I have a bad habit.
I have one tattoo I got when I was 19. And it's pretty badass.
I love your tattoo.
I know. I should get another one. I just want to... I don't really like fixate on it, but I know that I want something else.
Yeah. Get a Bowser shell.
That is not happening.
Yet. But on the topic of Nintendo Switch and independent games, indies, you recently just got Undertale.
I did.
I was when because that popped up for me because I saw that you were online on my Switch, which is also another good thing is that I actually have IRL friends on Switch. Like, have you, Geordie, and both my sisters?
Both your sisters are on Switch?
Both my sisters are big Switch players. Well, I think I've told you that me and my sisters have a Mario Kart rivalry that's about 15 years old at this point. We've been playing since 64.
Yeah, you did tell me that.
So it's like...
I've had a Switch. That's cool.
So it's like, you know, there's deep-seated history there. We used to, like... Our main, like, the height of it was when we all had Nintendo DSs, the first DS that came out. And we would just marathon Mario Kart on that because that was, like, the first, like, wireless play that we could do with all of us. And we'd just play it for hours. Like, and I think that's why I have still some skill in Mario Kart, is that you had to develop so many strats for us to beat each other because we were just getting so good that it was like speed running these courses, like doing perfect drifts around every corner because it was just like so intensely competitive.
Wow.
But yeah, I saw in the friends thing that you were playing Undertale, which I was surprised about because I didn't think you were going to get that for Switch.
I wasn't going to because, you know, it costs money. I was feeling a little defeated this week.
Oh,
just physically got a bit sick, and then my mind just getting to me. So I was like, screw this, I'm gonna order heaps of Uber Eats and then buy a title, and I bought Undertale because I knew I would like it. And
I mean, like, it goes so well with like the little love letter that we penned to Earthbound recently.
It really does, and I guess like I was reminded because of this sequel, like Deltarune.
Yeah, well, I saw that came out.
Sequel, but kind of from the same developer, like.
And because like Deltarune is just like, there's all the same letters from Undertale.
Basically from what I've seen, and I was like, well, and like all the games we ever talk about are like literally like 5 years old, but like but it was just like good to.
I mean, but there's like a chance that like a lot of people haven't touched these games potentially. There's a lot of games to play.
I reckon I've definitely like heard enough about it that I understand that being like pacifist and like kind of or like fighting people with weapons is like a thing.
Yeah, well,
so I'm doing the full like pacifist.
Oh, I want to hear how that goes.
The only time I had to Google something is when you fight like Toriel for the first time, or the time, and I was like, oh, I really don't see a way out of not attacking this character. And so I just Googled it, and it just said to like spare them and then talk to them 24 times.
Whoa.
Which seems like a weird obscene like hack that no one would know how to do.
Are they attacking you during that time period as well?
Yes, but also it gets to, I think after like 5 attacks, I'm assuming, or something like that, their attacks rain down like tears within the kind of like...
Oh yeah, the box underneath it.
The box in which you're like you're like attacking them with your like heart, and it just kind of rains on the side. So if you got hit by it just because you were not paying attention, it's really easy to dodge.
That's right, because like the gameplay is like it's turn based, but like you actively dodge with your little heart icon in the bottom screen.
Yeah, I'm sure anyone listening would know, but
well, there's a chance that someone might not have played Undertale.
That is true. Well, it's like classic RPG, like fight.
Classic JRPG, buddy.
JRPG. I'm so sorry.
Unless I'm completely wrong, but because it's such like a love letter to Earthbound. Earthbound is such a JRPG.
It is a JRPG.
You love JRPGs, by the way. You're such a JRPG fiend.
I do. I definitely do. Oh my god, I can't wait till Final Fantasy X comes out on Switch.
Is it?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
yes.
I'm
10, 10-2, 9, and 7 are all coming to Switch.
Okay.
Are you insane? Like, sorry to use that word, but like, hello, like...
Babe, I've been under a weird rock.
Didn't you see the Nintendo Direct, like, not the Smash one that happened like last week, but the one before that?
I've only watched the Smash one.
Yeah, like, the only reason 8 isn't coming is because apparently they, like, lost the original, like...
Oh no,
files.
I was listening to, another gaming podcast that referenced this, but I was doing my groceries at the same time, so I was only paying half attention. But I heard about 8 not being remastered, which I was like, that's funny considering it's such a controversial.
Well, I had to look it up because I watched the direction. I was like, why is 8 not there? I love 8. And
okay, so I'm a fool who didn't know, but that is a massive game changer. But let's finish talking about Undertale and then we'll touch on that.
I don't know more to say because I'm not that far. Like I'm still like I'm basically in the town with this character Papyrus, who's like a skeleton.
Yeah. No, I've seen like a bit of gameplay.
You haven't played the game though.
No, I haven't played it personally.
Well, you're gonna fight all these doggos, which I've just passively like pet. So now they're all alive and hanging out, and they're my friend. And I kind of like, after doing that, like a series of kind of boss battles or mini bosses where you use your act, which is kind of like you would imagine is like your magic next to attack. Act,
yeah.
To pacify them and be their friend. They're all at this little bar hanging out, and it was a moment where I realized, like, oh, if I actually did attack them, they wouldn't be here, and I kind of get the consequences of the way the gameplay works, because obviously, like, we're all friends now, and I'm probably going to get through this game very easily. Like, there have been some boss fights where I've, like, died and had to, like, respawn from a save point, but nothing has been challenging, really.
Oh, okay. I wonder how that's going to fare
the story
later on in the game.
The story is nice enough that I don't mind. And the writing is, like...
It seems hilarious.
It's really funny, and, like, the animation and, like, the art style is so good, like...
Yeah, no, it's very cute.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, okay, so these Final Fantasy titles that are coming out on Switch, that's huge in regards to like portable playing those.
Well, you started playing 9 on your PC, and then I saw that, and I was like, oh my god, she needs to stop.
Yeah, well, I can switch over. I mean, I didn't pay a lot of money for 9 because I got it on a huge sale.
I'm sure you'll have to pay like $30.
Oh yeah, 100%. But is this going to be graphical remastering, or is it just like a straight port from the old ones?
It might just be a port.
Because like I've always wanted to play 7, but I don't think I'll ever be able to get past the graphics, considering that it's not a nostalgic thing for me.
I guess so. I really can't. I don't know. I can't relate because I like the graphics. But
well, that's the thing, because you grew up on that. It has a nostalgia factor.
Literally, for you. Like I think I was like 10 or something when like I first played it. I don't know if I'd play it now. I definitely want to replay 10.
Because 10 was the only one of the main series that I've beaten. Because my first Final Fantasy game was actually Final Fantasy Tactics Advance for the Game Boy
I started
Advance.
Playing because you suggested it.
Well, it was my first Final Fantasy game, and I really loved it. But it's so different from what a main series Final Fantasy game is.
So different. It kind of just like references itself.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit. It's got that like idea of like. It's a bit like a person playing Final Fantasy gets put into the Final Fantasy world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's that kind of weird fourth wall-ish kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if the graphics look good and if it runs well, I'm sure I'll pick at least one of those titles up.
I guess we'll see. Has anything not run too well on Switch?
There are a few games that don't run too well. Wolfenstein 2 only really works in docked mode.
Oh, that sucks because a handheld shooter.
That would be cool. Also, WWE 2K18 doesn't work as well in handheld.
Prime coming to Switch, or did I imagine that?
No, it's coming to Switch. But there's two games I found. These are both they're not made by Nintendo. They're ports, and they're both too laggy to play comfortably in handheld, which is just okay. So I found out this recently as well. It's because the Switch cartridges are only 4 gigabytes.
I feel like that's Nintendo's thing, though. They're always like...
Yeah, and because they don't like to use CD, they like to use cartridges. So that's why these games, these third-party games don't run as well. It's because they have to a game like Wolfenstein 2, that's like a 60 gigabyte game on another system. I'm just actually going to double-check the cartridge size, but I'm pretty sure it's 4 gigs.
Well, I can imagine it's like an SD card or something.
No, but less than that. The little and they apparently someone last night was telling me that they made the cartridges foul tasting to stop children.
I don't know, but I know that is a thing, but I wouldn't lick my cartridge.
No, but apparently it's legitimately a thing. I thought it was just an urban legend, but then I did hear it drunk at a bar, and isn't that how urban legends start?
How do they make it foul tasting?
They put a film on it?
Well, can't you just lick the film off?
But the idea is you don't because it tastes bad. Oh. It's to stop you doing it.
Should we lick the cartridges?
I don't want to ruin an expensive game.
Can you ruin them by licking them?
Isn't that what you were just saying? You didn't want to ruin it?
Did I just say that?
I think so.
My hangover is just growing and growing over this conversation, and I don't really remember what I've said.
That's okay. Okay, so I just actually looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
And
preview.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone situated in northwest Raccoon City, where we are searching for the helicopter of our compatriots, Bravo Team, who disappeared during the middle of their mission.
Haven't found it yet?
No, not yet. Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten.
Sorry, a little bit of technical difficulties there.
I mean, I can edit it out, but probably won't.
Apologies, everyone. I just actually did some research, and I made a fundamental error in which that the Switch cartridges can be 1 to 32 gigs. So just 4 gig is a lie, and I apologize.
I was thinking compressing a 60 gig game to under 4 gig would be impossible.
Yeah.
Or
well, apparently it says here that 64 gig cartridges were planned to be introduced in the second half of 2018, but due to unspecified circumstances, Nintendo has delayed the launch of this variant to 2019. I mean, that's exciting. I want more fucking space out of those little cartridges.
I don't understand the technical side of cartridges or consoles, so I don't get why they can't just be 1,000,000 gig. But
well, as well, I don't know. I guess you couldn't really, because if you have just downloaded games, they can be any size. But I guess if they were better to download, no one would buy the cartridges, right?
No, you're right. I think no one would buy them.
I think we should take a little break. We'll come back with a bit more cute chat in a sec.
Cute check in a sec.
Yes, very good, Brennan.
Check.
at a townhouse in Melbourne drinking long necks of beer and talking the shit.
We're like, just like What's Good Games, except we're not successful. We don't have any money and we like make noise music and live in Australia. But
but we're both established fine artists as well.
We are fine artists.
I mean, we both went to college.
I went to what's supposed to be the best college, but for art, but I don't know.
I don't know if the college I went to for art was supposed to be the best, but it was prestigious for a period of time.
I think VCA has the hangover of some kind of prestige from the 90s, but I don't know.
Same with Kofa, where I went to.
Kofa definitely has the prestige. That is true. Yeah. Okay, we're both prestigious fine artists. Kofa is like an institution in Sydney, and VCA, Victorian College of the Arts, is in Melbourne, and we both are very prestigious and great fine artists. And now we are hanging out with punks and getting stick and poke tattoos and playing Nintendo.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Right, like you fucking hit the nail on the head.
They were prepping us for the industry and we threw it all away.
As if being trans, like, made my art career.
I hate those het normie bastards that were trying to, like, control my life in art school. When I think about the teaching I got and, like, the direction they're trying to push me and I kind of reflect on my lifestyle and, like, what is good for me and what is, like, my... What's a word for community that isn't so, like, gross and, like, loaded? There is no the term.
There is no term.
I'm not friendly with the word community, but...
I just want to preface, though, by saying that trans made my art career. It just means that I had, like, something powerful and interesting to explore conceptually within my work.
Absolutely.
And, like, I feel like that experience just, it really went hand in hand with the work I make. I'm not just saying it's like, oh, I'm an artist because trans. It's just like, being an artist has given me an avenue to explore my transsexuality in an interesting, deconstructing manner.
And I didn't really, I agree. And I didn't really make work about being trans or like identity until last year when I was finishing my degree and getting my honors.
Yeah.
Which is like the thesis writing kind of.
That's right, yeah.
A part of your degree, the fourth year. But yeah, and also the valid, it's valid to do the hustle too and to get the money, like for
100%.
That, you know.
Well, like the institutions aren't made to really benefit you that much, so you've got to try and do what you can to get what you want out of them.
Well, those conservative, very apologetic kind of funding bodies
tokenizing.
Tokenize you, so you kind of have to play on that. Yeah.
Going back to video games.
Okay.
I just saw in your face there for a second that you just looked at me like, bitch, no. We're now a contemporary art criticism podcast. We're called Fakest Gallery Girls.
Well, we got to talk about games. We got to talk about life. We got to criticize. Like,
100%.
King caboodle.
But this is just something that I wanted to talk to you about that I forgot until now.
I like video games more than I like identity politics. So.
Oh, me too. Maybe that's why I've been like fucking around with punks. Because a lot of them are just like drunk nerds.
We love drunk nerds.
Probably because we are. And anyway, I had a moment where I was just like, it was actually after we partied after Maggot Fest when I was like sick for days.
Mm-hmm. Maggot Fest being a music festival that happens at a certain music venue
in Melbourne. It's like a punk festival. And
Goes
I
like
only saw the New York City band Haram play because everyone else can get fucked.
Yeah.
Sorry for all my friends who were playing that night.
I saw V.
Oh yeah, fuck. No, V's great. No,
V like basically headline like the upstairs.
Yeah, no, V's very good.
She's sick.
Sorry, shout out to V. You're great.
She was like, yeah.
I have a good stick and poke. 2 good stick and poke tattoos from V actually.
Really?
Yeah.
V's amazing. Look, what's her SoundCloud like?
Bandcamp, I think is V Loves Cats.
So Bandcamp / V Loves Cats.
Yeah, I think that's it. Or you can at least find them on Instagram at V Loves Cats, but I think that's also their Bandcamp. They'll have an album, So Pure, released through Darrow Arcade this year. Hopefully. I'd like to hear it.
I definitely can't wait to hear it. Yeah.
But yeah, going back to video games, lol. During that part of having a epic hangover and just being really sick and being like, oh, there's nothing to do but just sweat it out in the bath. I was watching speedruns of Pokemon Red and Blue.
Were you?
And like learned about the history of them.
Who's doing them?
The thing is, there was just like I watched this like YouTube documentary that pretty much went through the history of Red and Blue speedruns.
Oh my god, you need to. That is the rest of my day. Like, you need to send that to me.
But there's this really funny streamer. I think his name's called Gunner Maniac.
Okay.
And he just looks like the like archetype of like a neckbeard gamer. I mean, he's balding, he's vaping huge clouds on Twitch while he's speedrunning Pokemon.
And is that like his full-time job?
Yeah, but he's a great speedrunner. I don't know if he's a good person. Part of me is just prejudiced to believe that he isn't because of him being like a gamer dude.
I mean, you're invested in like his kind of like
the
cultural output, not... I mean, like,
the second he started vaping, I was like, "Oh, you seem like a skis because you're just doing those like big vapor clouds, and like you just look like a fucking gremlin accountant."
Of course, he's like a bad person. He's like a gamer, like doing speed runs and vaping.
As a man, if a woman was doing that, she'd be amazing. But if a bloke was, haha, come at me, MRAs.
Yeah.
I mean, we already fucking took a swipe at you with your fucking Proud Boys no-fap shit. Are you enjoying your no-nut November, you cowards?
Hey,
Are you too scared to sleep
Romy.
with someone? Are you scared to orgasm?
Kill all men. God, I hate men so much.
But yeah, Pokemon speedruns are a thing, and it's interesting, and like you can do it. Like the best time to do it in is like I think like an hour and 15 minutes.
Whoa, what the hell? Like beating the Elite Four.
Yep, all the way to the end credits.
What is like the like quintessential like kind of thing? Like, what's the Pokemon that you can get, or like the strat that like helps you like,
pick Squirtle?
Okay,
and then you try and get a Nidoking, and those are the only two Pokemon you use.
Actually, it's very familiar. Maybe I have seen a speedrun.
And then like you generally will catch like another Pokemon.
Why a Nidoking?
Like, just because they're like very good, they're very powerful, so that you can like take out the Elite Four really quickly
with like Ice Beam.
Yeah, like it's generally like that's the general strat, and then you have like another Pokemon, a third one that's just your one for HMs.
The HM slave.
Pretty much, yeah. As fucking problematic as that is.
I hate that term.
I hate it so much.
I can't believe people use it so bad.
But like it was just really interesting to see a game that was my first ever video game, one that I've probably played more than any other game in history. And thus I'm like super familiar with it. So that to watch it being speedrunned, I was able to like it was just entertaining because it made sense. Like with other speedruns, if I haven't played the game, I'm like, I don't really know what's impressive outside of going fast. But this, you're like, oh shit, I get it.
I love watching speedruns.
I actually watched a great speedrun of the original Legend of Zelda.
Oh, the one that uses glitches?
No, I think this is like it might be a glitch-free one.
The glitch ones are like 13 or 17 minutes.
Maybe it is that then, because it wasn't very long, but it was interesting.
You would know if it was a glitch run. They basically like.
Oh no, they glitch through the world, like they glitch through across like the scrolling glitch.
Well, they use items to like manipulate the kind of data or whatever.
Yeah. But no, that's right. Yeah, because they found out like the algorithm of spawning items from enemies, and they were able to manipulate it.
Yeah, like it's not like Pokemon where they sit on a tile or something and like that manipulates the assets, but they can like, totally change it by like using bugs and bottles, and it's pretty cool.
There's a really great crew of girl speedrunners. I'm just gonna look up the name right now because I want to plug that because I really enjoy them.
Well, maybe we should our new intern Ralph to do it.
Ralph.
Ralph, we want to know all the female speedrunners of Zelda.
Give it to us, Ralph.
That? Ralph's on it. Stacy had to go.
Yeah, we had to let Stacy go. I'm sorry, Stace. Like, Girls on Fire. Girls on Fire. That's what they're called at Twitter. Go to Girls on Fire.
Girls on Fire. I've never seen them, but I'm shouting them out.
They're a cool crew of Twitch speedrunners. I listened to an interview with one of them. I can't remember her name, but she speedruns Kirby 64. That's her speedrun title of choice.
Kirby 64 is a game?
Yeah, Kirby on Nintendo 64. What kind of Nintendo nerd are you, baby?
I am obviously not that much of a nerd.
I mean, you were PlayStation back in the day.
I reckon I had a PlayStation, you're right. I did have a 64. I had them all. My daddy would my dad, not my daddy, oh my god, would buy me all the consoles secondhand, so I had all of them. There is Kirby 64.
Oh, the crystal shards.
It's called the Crystal Shards. Okay, I won't.
Oh my god, it took me like a full minute to for my brain to snap around, and then I was like, oh, look, if you get it, you get it.
Yeah, there's no shaming of any kind here in my bedroom when we were recording. The Crystal Shards. Wow, Kirby does look very excited.
Yeah, they look hyped.
I can't imagine that was a good game.
I don't think it is. Because it doesn't have the same repertoire. Well, it doesn't have the same, what would you say, legacy as your Mario 64, your Ocarina of Time, or your Star Fox 64, or Smash.
You know, yeah. What was Kirby on Super Nintendo called? That was
Kirby's Dream Land?
That was great.
Or was that for Game Boy?
No, the original one on Nintendo. I actually clocked that on my old Wii through the Wii store, and I loved it.
Fuck yeah! Oh, they're never gonna do it, but I'd love a virtual console on the Switch. Please give me SNES and Super Nintendo.
They
and
would totally
64.
release it, but they will make you wait. They could have fucking just given us 20 of their best games, and they gave us these fucking useless, boring sports games you're just gonna check into for 5 seconds, realize how bad game design was back in the fucking 80s and early 90s, and then just check out. This Kirby game looks terrible on the pictures that Ralph is showing us. What the hell? I kind of feel like 64 is this weird polygonal kind of beta console. Nothing looks finished. Nothing looks right.
I think that's because it was all early 3D. It was the first 3D, that in PS1.
Yeah.
They all look unfinished, but I think that's just because it's the best they could fucking do.
I appreciate those games. Obviously love them, but they just... I don't know, Banjo-Kazooie. I tried playing that recently, and it was terrible.
Granted, at least we get Legend of Zelda, Mario Bros. 3, and I'm a bit partial to some Dr. Mario. I'm talking about the Nintendo Entertainment System online, but the rest, you can get rid of them.
So Ralph has brought up the page, Double Dragon. I remember loving that when I was a kid.
I could probably replay that.
No, it's terrible. It's the worst. There are so many better beat 'em up games.
I mean, it's true, but we're talking about the second gen. Then we're talking about Super
Balloon
Nintendo.
Fight. That was the worst thing I've ever played. Even they're terrible. Oh my God, games
what about
then
River
were
City
so
Ransom?
Wow, that is a great game. Can't deny that. Soccer. I kind of appreciate how they branded these sports games. So golf, soccer. Tennis. You know how you get golf?
Yeah.
Is I don't really know, but you can get it on Switch by kind of isn't it by tilting your console in a certain way?
You can play golf? Is that a hidden secret?
It is a hidden secret. Because a designer who sadly passed, Ralph can look up his name.
Ralph is gone to the bathroom.
Okay. It is a beloved member of our community. Oh, okay. Well, I'll insert the name post. Okay, I'm very distracted right now because I just noticed that Metroid is being released in November.
which is this month, for the Switch Online. So there you go. Eat your fucking words. You're getting one more good title out of a possible 20 good titles.
And then what? Okay, so we're getting Metroid.
Which is going to be great. I'm excited to play that.
Of course, they did this strategically, but what else are we getting? We're getting
Mighty Bomb Jack.
What the fuck is Mighty Bomb Jack?
Twin B.
Twin B, like, no one knows what the fuck that is.
Warriors Woods.
Oh, they already tell you what's coming out?
Ninja Garden and Adventures of Lolo. They're coming out December.
What the fuck is... sorry, I'm getting all like...
Brendan's getting antsy.
I'm getting very antsy because I just get excited because Metroid
yeah.
is coming out. Oh my god, that's sick.
It'll probably be the end of November, knowing Nintendo. Like, by saying it's November 2018, I bet it's going to come out in the last day.
Few times I, like, opened my Switch, I just checked the kind of, like, Nintendo Online selection just to see if anything came out.
Yeah.
Since the Zelda SP. But it hasn't. And I really haven't played that.
Have you played any of that Metroid game I lent you? Samus Returns?
No, I have no time.
That is so fair. That is so fair.
Look, you can see my Nintendo.
Oh yeah, it's
3DS is sitting.
It's in your toiletries bucket.
It is in my bucket with my makeup and my like lip gloss and stuff. But
it's very Paris Hilton of you.
Thank you. I look at it all the time though, and I'm like, I want to play that game.
To be honest, I don't blame you. When you have a Switch, it's hard to go back to the 3DS.
It's so hard to look at that small double screen. And
like because you're getting. I think that's the thing I've learned is that I can see why now that they're gonna phase out the 3DS.
Obviously,
just go with the Switch.
Literally, what's the point? The games on 3DS, like
there's some
3DS.
Great ones.
The latest 3DS is not even it's not even 3D.
I hated the 3D. It made me sick.
No one liked the 3D. I mean,
this just in. No one likes the 3D.
I kind of appreciate.
The only person who likes 3D games on Nintendo DS is Alex Jones, because the 3D stops the globalists from taking his crystal shards.
Well, everything's 2D for Alex Jones until he turns on the Switch, and then it's like, it's basically like getting red pilled.
Oh my god, I'm sorry for like constantly bringing up Alex Jones.
How dare you apologize for that?
I just ever since I listened to the Behind the Bastards 3-part series on his life, Behind the Bastards.
Okay, I just did episode 2. Now I'm gonna go to episode 3.
Fuck yeah! If you don't know, Behind the Bastards is a podcast that details the lives of horrible people in history, and it's so nice that they include Alex Jones as a horrible person in history. But
he's really getting a beating, lately.
It's
banned off YouTube.
And PayPal. It's getting really fun. I'm enjoying it.
It is kind of fun. I guess he's a bad person, hey. I kind of don't...
I mean, he got caught watching trans porn.
Of course he loves trans women.
No, but he hates them publicly, because you saw his Caitlyn Jenner videos.
But she's a Republican. Why would he hate Caitlyn Jenner?
Too close to home.
I guess it doesn't really matter. He's all about the anti-feminization kind of agenda. He is a dickhead. I just I guess he has a big platform. I kind of just see him as this malevolent, kind of yelling, toad man.
A video I'll show you after we finish recording of him meeting a fan at a bar. And you cannot see him wrung out of there fast enough when he meets one of his actual members of his fan base. He hates his fans. And I'm
sure.
And the kind of person that takes Alex Jones seriously, wouldn't want to meet them either. I can't believe I walked past a car a few blocks away from my house that had InfoWars bumper stickers on it. Here in Australia as well.
I was going to say, in Australia, we obviously have fascists, white supremacists, all the sorts of racism, Australia's...
Oh, Australia's fucked for that. It's so bad.
Endlessly awful, colonial, terrible place. But it is still shocking to see the kind of Americanized white supremacy, kind of stuff, happening. I saw someone with a MAGA cap.
Yeah, people wear MAGA caps here.
It just feels so weird. It makes no sense because they're probably not politically active
that's
or
just like the
associated with.
Americanization of politics here in Australia.
You have to be political in Australia because you have to vote. You will get fined if you don't vote. It's illegal not to vote. It's not an issue where like celebrities tell you to vote like in America. You have to. So people have to have like a side, but it is very strange like to see people like, on the Trump bandwagon because it means more than just like American politics to them.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like, I mean, I have a family member who's like associated with this type of stuff, and it is like very difficult. He doesn't talk about it, and also it's very like strange because I'm like,
well, I have a family member as well that's a deep conservative.
And are they poor and like totally destitute and have nothing going for them? Because that's the person I'm talking about, and they like, I'm like, the people that you want to support on the right are not literally not going to help you.
No, that's the thing. They don't care for you.
They will target you because they know that you need something. They know that you are longing to get out of your kind of desperate, abject like poverty that you're in because you are like an unskilled laborer, depressed, whatever. But they're not going to help you, and that's really strange to see. And it's always like people in those situations who are like affected. Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's my soapbox. That's my passionate soapbox moment. I'm just going to take a sip of this beer.
I'm a bit flawed. You hit it.
I'm sorry, Romy.
No. You're saying all the important things. It's just that, when you just get hit with the truth and then you just need to sit on it for a moment. Or maybe I was just taking a long, hard look of all the people I know in my life.
I think you were just doing that. Family is tough, and I'm obviously not going to like defame anyone, but yeah, it's hard.
I mean, is defamation true? Is defamation a thing if it's true? That's always the joke I make when people are talking about don't defame people on the air.
Yeah, I just don't. I haven't really told my family I'm doing a podcast.
I haven't.
I think that is like, they're like, you're gay, you're trans, you're an artist, you're a podcaster. Get out of my house.
Podcasting's the fun. You're a video game podcaster?
Oh, literally like talking. Yeah, I have a gamer brother, but
I have 2 gamer sisters.
You've established that, and I think that is so cool.
Yeah, I come from we both come from gaming households.
Oh, my dad, literally like showed me video games. He clocked them. Like me and him.
Yeah, because he
Pokemon Red and Blue together.
He completely smashed Super Mario Bros. 3, right?
He finished Super Mario Bros. 3, which I thought was impressive when I was a kid, and now that I'm an adult, I'm like, how did you do that? Because like I've played it multiple times, and I've got the save state
system
because games back then are way too hard.
Yeah. Do you think as well it's because because generally after we finish recording, we will play Super Mario Bros. 3 together, but we've also been day drinking.
Oh.
So maybe that's contributing to our motor skills.
Absolutely. Like day drinking No, I'm not going to enable day drinking, but
no, never am I. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm not saying it's good.
It's fine. I think
it's fine for podcasting.
I think we should get Lord of the Fries again.
That's pretty solid. Yeah,
but what was the point is this, everyone, that we've got gamer families. Games are a thing. They're more popular than ever.
Well, that's the thing. I was listening to going back to What's Good Games again. This is gonna be my last thing, and then we should probably end after this.
We should definitely end.
But we're getting into like a super episode because we didn't record last week, so it's like you're getting like 2 episodes in one essentially.
Yes, I wasn't feeling well last week, but we're back.
They were talking about there's still that stereotype of the modern gamer is still the kind of intense antisocial man, and like definitely. Despite the fact that like gaming is it's art. And you can't not justify that. Mm-hmm. You're a fool if you try and dismantle that. You can't claim that film is an art and video games aren't. I'm sorry, but I will fight you every single day.
I guess you can't, like, even if they're like are like a commodity, so is art.
Art is a commodity. The whole point of having being a career artist is that you're developing a commodity to sell. But B, gamers are mainstream now. Gaming is mainstream, and especially if you look at the numbers of how many people have bought, say, Red Dead Redemption 2, has generated more money than the highest grossing film of the year.
Right. I think I heard that.
Which is like, that's huge if you think about it. Gaming is so to the forefront of popular culture now. And like, I don't think it's niche. And like, that's why I guess I enjoy doing this podcast as well, because it's really important to solidify the role of women playing video games. And like, also especially trans women, because like, you know, not a lot of space for that in a lot of spaces, really.
No.
Despite the fact that almost every trans woman I know is a gamer. Or either gamer or fashion, one or the other.
Definitely gamer or fashion. That is true.
Yeah.
I have to probably say they're all gamers.
In one way or another.
Yeah.
Well, we've both had a little soapbox moment.
We have. We should probably come to a close. I should say that if you want to, like, talk to us.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was probably, like, not many people listening. But if you do, we have an email, right?
Yes.
Which I'm going to assume is fakestgamergirls
@gmail.com.
Email. We also made a Twitter, which we will probably tend to more, but it's also fakestgamergirls. But please definitely email. And do we have the Reddit feed up?
I brought it up before. I think Ralph may have taken it down to bring something up.
Click that. I mean, I don't know how many names there are, but like, there is quite a few, maybe.
Oh, by the way, for anyone who's asking why there's no episode 1, it's because episode 1 just wasn't great because Brennan was in Berlin at the time, so we recorded over Skype.
Over Skype, and the quality is bad. We had it up, and we're also our first podcast attempt, like any attempt, was we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
We had a weird
conversation. Well, because we hadn't seen each other in like months anyway.
No, and we were ambitious and wanted to do something together, and we like didn't know how to uniform that the concept, and we just realized that a podcast is just like talking to each other and then sharing it with you, like
exactly,
whether you listen or not.
But yeah, please get in touch. We'd love to hear like any comments or feedback, love mail, hate mail, anything really.
Yeah.
Come at us with love.
Come at us. Thank you for posting on the Reddit. You're so sweet.
Yeah, you babes are real sweet, actually.
It's like invigorated me and got me out of a weird space last week to really just like keep chatting with Romy.
That's real sweet.
It did. It was like really
cute.
It was really sweet. Like, yeah, in a world that makes no gosh darn sense, it was like really nice. So thank you. And okay, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.
Logging off.